Here's your tech news for today, and we start with news from Samsung and the Galaxy Fold 2. Apparently, Samsung are just going absolute full beast mode with this phone, putting in every top-end spec you can think of on top of it actually being a foldable phone. So for me, the Galaxy Fold 2 is Samsung's star product and is the thing that they hold out as their #1 flagship device. And it had a few things that needed changing to really be a top-end flagship phone in terms of specs, and it seems like they've made these changes if we can believe these leaks. So according to this poster on Twitter who works for a supply chain consultant company, Samsung are making all the improvements that we wanted to see in this phone. A bigger screen at 7.6 inches, which is up from 7.3 in the original device, and a slight bump up in resolution, but nothing really noticeable. It is a bigger screen anyway. But the massive important spec, if we can believe this, is a 120Hz refresh rate, which means there are no compromises in this phone because you've got a foldable display. It's so expensive to make that. You think maybe Samsung would compromise with refresh rates, but according to this, it will be as good as any of their other flagship phones, which is really important, and it makes this phone something that people may actually go for. According to these leaks, also, the notch camera that was on the original Galaxy Fold is gone. This actually confirms a lot of other information we got recently. They'll be using a cutout camera, very small in the top right-hand corner. Apparently, they were looking to use an under-screen camera, but that technology just isn't ready yet and they can't use that. But the next best thing is a very small cutout, and we see this same design in all of Samsung's phones, so it makes sense for them to put it in there. The glass also will be upgraded from the original Fold. It will be using the same technology as they use in the Galaxy Z Flip. So there is some tiny layer of glass in there, but the top still will be a plastic layer. So that makes the information in this leak slightly strange, saying that Samsung will include an S Pen with this phone. It makes complete sense for them to have an S Pen with a device like this. It's a tablet. The S Pen just makes so much sense. However, using an S Pen on that inner panel is just going to be an absolute nightmare. You're going to scratch it, you're going to dent it, absolutely no way around it. It definitely will happen. So it really is hard to believe that you'll be able to use an S Pen on that display. However, according to the leak, the outer display is getting much bigger than before, a 6.2-inch display, which basically means that the outer display is a normal phone display anyway, and you could potentially use the S Pen on the outer display. That would make a lot of sense, but not on the inner display. I guess we'll wait and see on that one, but a bigger internal display, better screen to body ratio, 120Hz refresh rate, bigger outer display, basically like a normal smartphone, and apparently the cameras of the S20. This looks an amazing device, a real flagship. It's just the price is going to put people off, but honestly, with these specs, that's going to be a really tempting device for a lot of people that usually go for the Note phones. Moving on to some other quick news, and again from Samsung, how about a 600 megapixel image sensor? Apparently Samsung want to get there. This is actually an official press release from Samsung who say they want to get up to 600 megapixel image sensors one day. Maybe not in smartphones, but in a lot of other applications, for example, drones, and also maybe autonomous cars that can image the environment around them that need high resolution. This is actually insane and really cool. I mean, why not do it? That will obviously filter down into smartphones as well. We know that they're pushing for ever higher megapixel image sensors. Towards the end of this year, maybe 150 megapixels, and going forward, it's just going to get higher and higher. I don't know, it's pretty cool and exciting to see what's going to happen. Xiaomi today announced that MIUI 12, the latest iteration of their operating system, will be coming very soon, actually quicker than expected. It's going to come with some design improvements overall. Xiaomi earlier said that this is going to be an evolution, not a revolution in design. Just some different fonts, some more color schemes throughout the phone, and just some slightly different designs, making everything seem more connected. Xiaomi will also launch the Chinese version of the Mi 10 Lite, which was launched in Europe back last month. This will be called the Xiaomi Mi 10 Qingchunban, which means light or spring edition. Should be featuring a Snapdragon 765G, just like the Mi 10 Lite, and apparently 50 times zoom in that camera. We'll find out more about that phone and MIUI 12 on April 27th. Spotify has launched something called Curated Podcasts. It wants people to listen to more podcasts on Spotify. So apparently US, UK, Germany, Sweden, Mexico and Brazil will have a group of people curating podcasts so you can listen to them. Each podcast playlist will be tailored to each specific location, just those locations for now. If you have Spotify, check it out. According to DigiTimes, the upgrade to the AirPods Pro, so the new AirPods Pro, could be delayed towards the end of this year or possibly into next year, 2021. There's been loads of news about AirPods and new AirPods coming, new over-ear headphones from Apple coming very soon. Also, a new release from Apple called AirPods X, which should be fitness-oriented AirPods coming towards the end of the year in the autumn, maybe September, October time. And then the cheaper AirPods coming as soon as next month. But the AirPods Pro update possibly being pushed back towards the end of this year, 2021. Let's wait and see for more information. That is it for your tech news today. Sub if you liked it and check out the other channel as well for some more content and videos. And I'll see you next time.